to the Future of Government Awards hosted by Public Digital, UNDP, and AWS. While we're introducing ourselves, please say hello in the chat. Would love to know who you are, as well as the organization you're representing. Also, as this is a global event, please let us know where in the world you're joining the ceremony from. I am Blessing Oluwatosin Ajimoti, a principal consultant from Public Digital, and I am one of your hosts today.
And I'm Michael Downey, open source analyst at UNDP. I'll be your other host for today. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our interpreters for today's event, Sandrine and Carlos. Sandrine will be interpreting in French and Carlos in Spanish. So, if you would prefer to listen to the ceremony in French or Spanish rather than English, you can click the interpretation button at the bottom of your screen. If you don't find it, look for the 3 dots as shown in the black and white arrow below. Now, a few housekeeping things to cover. First, we're recording today's event. The video will be made available promptly on the futureofgovernment.com website and on Public Digital's YouTube channel. Now, while we don't have a question and answer section today during the ceremony, we do want and encourage you to use the chat function. Our hope is that you'll make some useful connections with other attendees today and continue the discussions after we finish. But do kindly stay on mute during the whole ceremony, unless you're a winner. We'll ask our winners to unmute their microphones to say a few words. And like most award shows, we'll be ready to limit your speech to around 2 minutes. We've got a lot to celebrate today in this coming hour, so we'll be watching the clock closely, and hopefully we won't have to interrupt. And then finally, if you'd like to share and celebrate the work of the brilliant people doing meaningful work around the world that we recognize today, you can use the Future of Government Awards hashtag on your social media of choice. Blessing?
You're on mute, sorry. Blessing?
While Blessing's working on the audio problems, I'll just go ahead and cover what's coming up in the next hour. We're going to kick off by presenting the award for Digital Team of the Year, followed by the Open Source Creation Award. Next will be the exceptionally special one, the Lifetime Achievement Award. This will be presented by Liam Maxwell, who's the Director of Government Transformation at Amazon Web Services. We'll spend some time interviewing the winner. And then after that, we'll find out the winner of one of my favorite categories today, the Open Source Reuse Award. And then we're delighted to receive a keynote address from Salima Ba, who's the Minister of Communication, Technology, and Innovation for Sierra Leone. Welcome and thank you for your time, Madam Ba. And finally, we'll present our annual Leadership Award just before we close the ceremony. And let's check in with Blessing if you're back online.
Yes, I'm back online, Michael. Thank you so much. Here we go. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the practitioners, the teams, and the leaders who are transforming people's lives by applying digital solutions and leveraging technology to transform the public sector for those it serves. We believe that these awards will raise awareness of what is possible and what good looks like when we work together and focus relentlessly on the needs of citizens. We also hope the Future of Government Awards will encourage connection and discussion across borders so that good, tried, and tested ideas can be shared, adapted, and reused within the global public sector. After all, when one government is successful, we can all benefit. Here is a quick reminder of last year's winners.
So if you joined us last year, you'll remember that in place of a Digital Team of the Year award, we had a Digital Advocates Award, which went to the Digital Identity Directorate team, who are part of the Ministry of Management and Innovation and Public Services in Brazil. Our selection committee recognized them for implementing the gov.br digital identity, which was performing 3 billion authentications each and every month.
Last year's Open Source Creation Award went to Downey, an integrated digital health solution developed by ThoughtWorks, which supports millions of patients across more than 50 countries.
And the Philippine Identification System, or more commonly known as PhilSys, won the Open Source Adaptation Award last year. The PhilSys team worked with an open source creation called MOSIP to build kits that allow enrollment officers to travel across thousands of islands throughout the Philippines and collect people's information, dramatically improving the rate of centralized registration.
And the Leadership Award went to Mr. Abhishek Singh from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in India. The selection committee credited Mr. Singh's leadership as being a significant reason for India's thriving digital public infrastructure.
And last year, Jen Palka won the Lifetime Achievement Award. The selection committee not only recognized her many impressive roles over the years, including founding of Code for America, serving in the Obama White House as U.S. Deputy Chief Technology Officer, and helping set up the U.S. Digital Service. And they also recognize just how she has led with boundless compassion, energy, and empathy.
All very deserving winners. We're sure you'll agree that this year's winners will be in very, very good company. Many of you here today are part of teams that are based hundreds or thousands of kilometers apart, but you're working on very similar things. But despite the fact that many of you are aiming for extremely similar outcomes, you're not competitors, and this puts public servants in a unique position. Public servants, no matter where they're based, thrive when we work in the open, when we share ideas, and when we support others to overcome challenges. So when one public sector team wins, we all win. And when a country or state government achieves success, we should all celebrate it. This is an idea that Madam Ba highlights in her keynote. Listening to a wider global community helps us deliver value to citizens sooner. And that's why we're here today.
So this year, we were thrilled to receive 336 nominations from 52 different countries across our 4 award categories. These nominated teams and leaders are all doing important, meaningful work and are based on all parts of the globe, from Norway to New Zealand, from Mexico to Mozambique, and from Benin to Burkina Faso. And many of you are joining us here today. Thank you very much. And I'd like to take this opportunity to take a moment and thank our selection committee. These are volunteers who agreed to take time out of their very busy schedules to evaluate the shortlisted candidates and ultimately help us determine this year's winners. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. It's time to get on with this year's winners. And our first category is Digital Team of the Year. This award recognizes a small team that has had the greatest impact by championing digital transformation. The shortlist includes teams from Somalia, Kingdom of Morocco, Colombia, India, Iceland, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Ukraine, and Azerbaijan. For the second year running, the digital team category had the most nomination of all categories. I'll now hand over to Secretariat CEO at Digital Public Goods Alliance, Liv Mata Nodhog. She's kindly joining us today from Norway.
Hi, I'm Liv, and it's such a pleasure to be here. And as was said, I lead the Secretariat of the Digital Public Goods Alliance. As you just saw in the video, the Digital Team of the Year category had an extremely strong shortlist. And I should know because I was part of this year's selection committee making these really difficult choices. However, the 3 teams that we would like to recognize as being highly commended are: number 1, the Digital Transformation Office from Indonesia. The DTO is part of Indonesia's Ministry of Health. The organization doesn't only provide health data to citizens, but through Satu Sehat, a data dashboard, it provides reliable health data that is being used by local government, the health tech industry, and those developing public health innovation. The DTO is transforming Indonesia's healthcare services through the use of data and technology. Moving on to number 2, DigiLocker team from India. The DigiLocker team has revolutionized citizens' interactions with government by creating a single digital platform which bridges multiple government departments. Citizens can now update their address through across Aadhaar, PAN, DL, voter ID, and bank accounts with a single login. enjoy seamless airport and railway entry, and facilitate access to deceased's property and financial documents. A superb platform to facilitate end-to-end services. And then to number 3, development and applications team from Colombia. This team has transformed the way people access credit by implementing a digital guarantee, a tool that uses artificial intelligence to evaluate risks and, if approved, facilitate credit approval. The result? Credit is reaching historically underserved populations. The work is contributing to a more equitable, efficient, and inclusive financial ecosystem. Congratulations to the teams, and the selection committee was extremely inspired by your work and collaboration. And now, for the winner of the Digital Team of the Year award. The winner of the Digital Team of the Year award is Kyiv Digital. Congratulations to this team. We'll hear from them shortly, but first, here's why the selection committee found Kyiv Digital to be worthy winners. The Kyiv Digital team's ability to turn adversity into an opportunity to support Kyiv residents has positioned the city as a beacon of resilience and innovation. The team's work on the Kyiv Digital app began as a smart city initiative looking to improve the city's services and infrastructure. In its early days, it did in fact successfully simplify citizens' access to public transport, for example. But since the war began, the app became a lifeline, transforming the way Kyiv connected with its residents. Despite extremely challenging conditions, the Kyiv Digital team has adapted rapidly to new crises, maintained transparent communication, and the app's 97% satisfaction rate reflects the team's success in ensuring constant availability of vital services during wartime. Today, the Kyiv's digital app has more than 1.5 million users each day and is indispensable for over 3.3 million residents who rely on it for real-time updates, emergency alerts, and critical services. I'll now hand over to Victoria Itzkovich, Director of the IT Department of Kyiv City Council, who should be on the call to say a few words.
Hi all. My name is Victoria Itzkovich. I am CIO of Kyiv City Council. I'm responsible for all digital projects in Kyiv. First of all, thank you all. Thank you, selection committee, all the judges, all the giant teams that are working for this award, and of course, all the nominees, all the digital teams across the world that are working on this. I want to say that it's extremely valuable for us to get the award in this specific category, the category of digital teams, because it is a special merit for the team, for Kyiv IT team that worked from the start of the war tirelessly, never left Kyiv, and worked day and night to provide new services for citizens. Some of them were aimed to survival, really, for the first time for the first months of the invasion. And this team keeps releasing new services despite the limited financing, despite all the struggles. So it's really a great merit for us. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And also, I want to congratulate all other nominees for this award and for all other categories. I really feel and know how your teams are working, the same as the Kyiv Digital team is working to provide new services for the citizens and for the people of your countries. Thank you very much again for this award.
Very well deserved. Congratulations to Victoria and the entire team. We're moving on now to the Open Source Creation Award, which celebrates the innovators, the developers, and leaders in government who are designing and building their own solutions and, crucially, making them available for others to adapt and reuse. Our shortlist this year included a lot of teams from around the world, from India, UK, Norway, Iceland, Ukraine, and the World Resources Institute, which represents Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, Zambia, India, Nepal, Tanzania, and Ethiopia, Italy, also USA, and New Zealand. So many countries and really all brilliant nominees, and they're all very well recognized here today. So next up, I'm going to hand over to Dasun Hugada from Sri Lanka, who will be announcing the highly commended nominations and the winner of this year's Open Source Creation Award. Dasun?
Thank you, Michelle. Hello, everyone. I'm Dasun Haggoda, joining you from Sri Lanka, and I'm honored to be presenting this award. The first highly commended award goes to Modular Open Source Identity Platform, better known as MOSIP from India. MOSIP is a digital public good that allows countries to build their own national digital identity systems as a foundational digital public infrastructure. So far, 26 countries have adopted MOSIP. The ability to digitally verify citizens' identity helps make public services more inclusive and accessible. And I'm happy to share that Sri Lanka is also considering using MOSIP to build its unique digital identity. Congratulations, MOSIP team. For the next award, we have Mojaloop from USA. Mojaloop is also a digital public good that is designed to bridge the financial inclusion gap. It provides banks and payment hubs with real-time clearing and settlement systems, ensuring that funds can be sent and received instantly. This inclusive, low-cost platform is especially valuable in developing economies, making digital financial services accessible to anyone with a mobile phone. Congratulations, Mojaloop team. And the third award goes to Energy Access Explorer. The World Resources Institute is responsible for this platform, and people from Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, India, Nepal, Tanzania, Ethiopia were involved. This geospatial platform provides high-quality accessible data on energy demand, power infrastructure, and renewable energy potential. It supports policymakers, energy planners, and development organizations to deliver clean and reliable energy to underserved communities. Congratulations, Energy Access Explorer team. It is so inspiring to see open source software being used to bridge the gap in the society. Well done to the highly commended nominees. But without further ado, the winner of the open source creation is DHIS2 Norway. DHIS2 is also deployed in Sri Lanka and supporting our health systems. DHIS2 is free and open source platform which brings together a wide variety of health data from large number of sources. Currently, this digital public good is transforming management information systems in more than 100 countries. Its model allows it to be adapted to different contexts with lower barrier to adoption. Developed and managed by his center at University of Oslo, DHIS2 is supported by a global network of 23 HIS groups that provide direct implementation support. We are delighted to have Max Kraft, communication lead for DHIS2 core team, here with us today. Congratulations, Max. We would love to hear a few words from you. Over to you.
Great. Yeah, thanks very much. It's a real honor for us to receive this award. I'm happy to be here to accept it on behalf of the DHIS2 team, the University of Oslo, our 23 partner groups that are located in Africa, Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. Their country partners and governments they work with, and the global DHIS2 community, because I think for us, this really is a community project and not just something we manage here from the University of Oslo. This is an open source project that's been going on since 1994. And so we've been working, I think, tirelessly towards our mission of providing governments with a flexible digital tools that they can use and adapt and own themselves to solve the problems that they're working on. And really the impact of DHIS2 to us is about that the use, especially in low and middle income countries. So I think a lot of the credit for where we are now as a tool, as a platform, really goes to the people in the ministries of health who use the software, to other partners who have given us feedback on how to make it more relevant for them, And of course, the global HIPS network for being that link between us and the software team and the countries that are using the platform. And that's really what the HISP approach is about. So it's not a top-down design approach. It's all about co-design with people, especially in the global south, and then working with them to build capacity so they can take ownership of those systems, own their data. And that is really the key for us in making DHIS2 a successful and sustainable and resilient platform, which I think we've seen, especially now with the COVID pandemic and with the current funding crisis, that countries have really taken ownership of their systems and continue to use them to deliver good public health programming and programming in other sectors like education, where we've seen countries start to use DHIS2 as well. So again, it's really an honor, and I think we share that honor with the whole global community of DHIS2 users and supporters. So thanks very much.
What a fantastic achievement. Thank you. Next, we have a very special award, the Lifetime Achievement Award. This one recognizes the sustained and powerful contribution from one outstanding individual. This category was not open for nominations. Instead, a handful of impressive names were put forward by the selection committee, all of whom have leveraged technology to improve many people's lives over a number of years. Each one of the nominees is responsible for a legacy of positive change, but there can only be one winner. To present this award, former senior public servant and now the Director of Government Transformation at Amazon Web Services, Liam Maxwell, will do the honors. Unfortunately, due to demanding schedules, Liam and our winner couldn't join us today, but they did catch up last week, and here is what happened.
Welcome to this part of the awards, and I'm very pleased to be able to introduce the winner of our Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm Liam Maxwell with Amazon Web Services, and I'm here to introduce a man who was a leader of a major IT company across the world, building Infosys, serving as its chief executive and its chairman as it went from a startup to one of the largest IT companies in the world. In 2009, he was asked by Manmohan Singh, then the Prime Minister of India, to resolve the issues around identity. And in the country of more than 1 billion people, more than 1.2 billion people at that point, that was a fundamental challenge and really required building an approach that was revolutionary, that was elegant, that was simple, but also at the same time was able to effect massive change. And I'm so proud to be on the screen today to award the Lifetime Achievement to Nandan Nilekani.
Thank you very much, Liam, and it's really a pleasure. You have been a friend, supporter, evangelist of the work that we have done. So I'm very grateful and honored that I'm getting this extraordinary award, but also because I'm getting it from you. So I'm really delighted. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. That's very flattering. Could I just ask, what was it, you've written about this as well, but perhaps share with the audience, what was it like? I mean, you're running a successful business and the Prime Minister rings up and says, we've got this issue. And I think you said at the time, you knew it was a really, really challenging issue. And also so many people in so many different countries have found this too much to do. It's been the hill on which many careers have died. What was in your head when he rang you? What did you think?
Well, when I first had this contact, I had actually written a book in 2008 called Imagining India, where I talked about the power of digital identity. And it so happened that the government also had a project for doing this to give a unique ID to everyone. It didn't say digital, but unique ID. And so I was very, of course, flattered that I was seen as a potential leader for this program. And it was a big decision for me, Liam, because I had a very comfortable corner office overlooking a golf course in Bangalore. And I gave that up and became employee number one of a startup inside the government. And if there's anything more difficult than a startup, it's a startup inside government. And I had no budget, I had no team, I had no, I really had nothing. But I had the goodwill and backing of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and his colleagues. And they gave me a free hand. And that's how I went to Delhi, took up this job. I was there for 4.5 years, and we built this ID system. And by the time I stepped down in March of 2014, we had already crossed 600 million unique digital IDs.
So that's of a scale that eclipses the United States, it eclipses Europe together. And even at that stage, you're only halfway there. In fact, you're only about halfway across the entire organization. So scale is the big thing we've identified with Aadhaar and why it's been so successful. But what do you think were the key components that made it successful?
I think scale, of course, we had to get to finally 1.3 billion people, and even now it continues as new people are born and so on. But fundamentally, what made it successful was a very simple, minimalistic design. That what happens often in government projects, as you know, is people tend to throw everything and the kitchen sink into the solution, and then it becomes so heavy that it sinks under its own weight. So it's important we kept it very minimalistic. We kept the number of fields very simple. We kept the enrollment simple. We kept the biometric deduplication simple. We came up with an enrolling architecture where there were incentives to enroll people. So a lot of design and architectural things, both from a technology point of view as well as a business model point of view, that helped it to be successful. And then one very important thing, which I think applies for government projects, is we did not tread on anybody else's toes. So we didn't get into any turf issue with anyone, because we were basically giving a foundational ID that said, John is John or Ashok is Ashok. And whether Ashok deserves a passport is decided by the Foreign Office, in our case, the External Affairs Ministry. If Ashok deserves to drive is decided by the Motor Vehicle Department. So the moment I made it clear to other departments that I was not taking away any of their authority, and all I was doing is helping them by making sure that everybody had a unique number, they were quite fine with it.
What was your biggest blocker?
Well, there were no one blocker. I mean, over the course of the almost 5 years I was in government, I faced a lot of challenges. I faced, obviously, I had to convince politicians. I went to every state of India and met the chief minister or the head chief secretary and explained to them what was coming. I went to parliament and met MPs. I fought a case in the Supreme Court, which we won. So I had a number of challenges, number of battles. There were many activists who felt this was the wrong thing to do, and they didn't want it to happen. So it's, obviously doing this at that scale, convincing 1 billion people is not easy. But luckily, I had also great support from the government, from Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and his colleagues, some of the media people, etc. And so I think we were able to create a coalition of people who were keen to see it through.
Yeah, and building that coalition of the willing with that top cover. So important. Watching this today will be lots of leaders who are building brilliant solutions for the future in their governments. What would be your advice to them on how to run a brilliant program?
Well, I think, as I said, keep it simple, keep it minimalistic, design it for scale and speed so that you get momentum coming out of the gate. If there's no momentum, you'll never get momentum back. So you have to get momentum right in the beginning. And designing it as an open API for anyone to use. So the ID system is used for multiple users to open bank accounts, to get mobile connections, to withdraw money. So basically make it more of a platform which is usable in many circumstances. And it's also used by the private sector. So it's not only a rail, it's a rail for private innovation. So thinking through some of these architectural things is very important. And over the last 15 years, we have evolved a school of thought called digital public infrastructure on how to do these population scale API oriented things. And we're happy to say that in India itself, we've applied this philosophy to many other things. And now there's global interest, as you know, in this DPI, and many countries around the world, Philippines, Morocco, etc., are implementing different aspects of what we did in India. Other thing is, Liam, is that we have created open source components of this. Subsequently, for ID, there's something called MOSIP in IIIT Bangalore. There's a group that is doing other softwares. And therefore, we want governments not to feel that they are dependent on anybody, that whatever we give is it's free, there's no strings attached, they retain their sovereignty, they have the source code. So there are a lot of thought going into how to make sure governments are comfortable implementing technology without feeling that they're locked in.
Yeah, that's it. And that ability to not feel locked in is right at the heart of the approach that you've taken. So that's one of the other reasons I know the committee were looking at this, thinking this actually has worked and it has made such a huge change, not just in India, but around the world. And I think one of the core components, which we can't touch on today, but just the effect through the banking system on female economic empowerment in India has been just one of the components that has changed society forever.
Sure. Just on banking, thanks to Aadhaar and Prime Minister Modi's efforts, he launched something called Jan Dhan Yojana. Today we have 700 million Aadhaar-linked bank accounts, and financial inclusion happened in 9 years, what would have taken 45 years.
Yeah, just the effect on speed is transformational to people's lives. Just thinking about the future, and this is the future of government awards, what's really inspiring you at the moment as you look around the world? And are there any countries or teams that you can see that are really bubbling up?
No, I'm actually quite inspired by the fact that many countries now are realizing that they have to build a very thoughtful digital stack for themselves because, they need to be in charge of their destiny. They need architecture which layers capability one on top of the other. So I think there's a global awareness. And also, I think what's interesting in Africa is, apart from the fact that many of the individual countries are looking at DPI, there's also a thought about how can we create a pan-African digital infrastructure, which acts as the unifier of all the countries.
So the future's bright, but one of the reasons the future's bright is because people spend the time to go and build the infrastructure. And Nandan, you built the core component of a one nation but many nations infrastructure. And so many congratulations. I'm so pleased you won this award. And I'm so proud to call you a friend. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you so much. I'm honored and privileged to receive this award.
Thank you so much, Liam, and so many congratulations to Nandan. Wonderful to hear your insights from over the years. Next up, we're going to move on to the Open Source Reuse Award. Now, open source reuse or open source adaptation is actually just what you heard from Nandan. It's when an open source creation that was designed, built, written, and then ultimately shared by one team is able to be, thanks to the open source license itself and those freedoms it gives us to reconfigure it, to adapt it, and so other teams can use that in different contexts. So this award celebrates those in the public sector who have been building on this shared knowledge, because working in this way allows less duplication of time, effort, money. It allows quicker delivery and scaling, and ultimately allows us to balance our ability to innovate and create our own solutions with interdependence and global digital cooperation. Our shortlist this year that you see on your screen included teams from India, Mexico, the Comesa region, Pakistan, Mozambique, India, Brazil, and Burkina Faso. So wonderful list again in this category this year. And as with all of our categories, we've really been deeply inspired and astounded by the quality and the breadth of those entries and the outstanding work they represent. So with that in mind, I'd like to invite Heidi Uchiyama, who's the director at Public Digital, to announce which 3 innovations were recognized as highly commended by our selection committee this year. Heidi?
Thank you, Michael. Our first highly commended innovation is Benin from Burkina Faso. When Burkina Faso needed a modern system to manage issues related to births and deaths, the Benin project implemented OpenCRVS, an open source civil registration and vital statistics system. Thanks to its flexibility, OpenCRVS could be adapted to Burkina Faso's administrative framework and legal requirements and implemented in 20 communes within 9 months. Secondly, we have deployment and integration of Moja Loop for inclusive payment systems. This is a collaborative effort from Mexico, Republic of Guinea, Republic of South Sudan, Republic of Cabo Verde, and the Comesa region. In the open source creation category, earlier in the ceremony, we heard about Loop, an open source real-time payment system. Loop's adaptability meant it could be integrated with local financial institutions and mobile operators in the Republic of Guinea, South Sudan, and Cabo Verde to ensure interoperability. It also meant payment models could be aligned with each country's regulations, and user interfaces could be customized for local languages and currencies. Wonderful to hear how Loop is being used to accelerate financial inclusion while reducing development costs. Third, we have Speedy Mesh, Digital One Health Platform from the African Union, Cameroon Intergovernmental Authority on Development. Speedy Mesh has several open source creations in its development history and allows users to manage and share data as a product. This adaptation was made for the African Union, Inter-African Bureau for Animal Resources, with the aim of supporting cross-border data sharing. The team identified they needed to decentralize data management and empower data scientists and users, and that the Speedy Mesh platform promotes national data sovereignty as well as data democracy. Incredibly important work. Well done, everyone. Now I'll introduce Debashish Nag from UNDP. He is the Digital Regional Facilitator for Europe and Central Asia, and he's joining us from Istanbul to announce the winner. Over to you, Debashish.
Thanks, Heidi. Hello, everyone. I'm Debashish, Regional Digital Transformation Advisor with UNDP Istanbul Regional Hub, supporting 19 countries in Europe and Central Asia region in digital transformation, including AI and emerging technology. So it's an honor to be here, and thanks for inviting me to give this award. The winner of the open source reuse category is the Credit for Wellbeing team from Mexico, who integrated MIFOS-X. Congratulations. So just to briefly tell about this initiative, Mexico's Creditos para el Bienestar, or Credit for Wellbeing team, has integrated open source platform, MIFOS-X, which provides tools that make various lending programs available to the poorest, unbanked people in Mexico. The biggest blocker for Mexican government administering aid to vulnerable groups through loans has been the lack of systems and distribution channels available. However, the Credits for Wellbeing team offers citizens a fully digitized self-service lending process. The reuse of MIFOS-X has provided a robust system that has increased visibility, reduced corruption. Part of this is due to electronic loan account folder, which is viewable across more than 1,700 bank branches. I personally believe success of any open source reuse depends on how robust the solution is and how well customized the solution for the needs of user. For this case, like the MIFOS-X is well used by governments, banks, and fintechs around the world. And its easy integration has enabled the Credits for Wellbeing program to customize the solution in line with the needs of its people and deliver it quickly whilst making sure it aligned with Mexico's policies for security, accountability, and traceability. Well done to the team who is supporting government to more efficiently bridge financial and digital divides in Mexico. We are joined by Joan Herrera, IT Director from Credits for Wellbeing, and David Higgins from MIFOS Initiative. Congratulations once again. Please say a few words from your side. Over to you, Joan and David.
Thank you. It's a huge honor to have been recognized for this. The team at Finbien and Juan have done a great job in implementing MIFOS-X, as well as the whole community of MIFOS who've developed the product over the years. So it's a huge honor for us, and we're really stoked to have won it, especially against such great competition in this category. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Juan. And congratulations to Credits for Wellbeing team. Extraordinary achievements, making a real difference in people's lives. Well done. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Salima Ba. She is Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation in Sierra Leone. In 2023, Madam Haja Salima Manorma Ba was appointed as the inaugural Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation, making history as one of Sierra Leone's youngest cabinet ministers. She is a licensed barrister and she holds an LLB law degree from the University of Wales in the United Kingdom and a master's degree in intellectual property and technology law from Columbia Law School, New York. Prior to her ministerial appointment, she excelled as policy lead and head of projects at the Directorate of Science, Technology and Innovation, where she developed a passion for technology and innovation while collaborating with software engineers, data scientists, and product managers. Madam Ba's expertise uniquely positions her to lead Sierra Leone's effort to leverage digital tools for national development. Her mandate as minister includes driving the implementation of policies, bills, and strategies that promote communication, technology, and innovation. She's committed to ensuring government services are accessible, user-friendly, and effective, while aligning with the broader vision of propelling Sierra Leone forward toward middle-income status. Welcome, Madam Ba. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And it feels as if it's a very long intro. I'll try to make it short next time. But thank you so much. And I really like to take this opportunity to thank UNDP, Amazon Web Service, and Public Digital, and all of the organizers for providing this brilliant platform for sharing ideas, learning, and most importantly, to celebrate those worldwide who have led the way this year in transforming the public sector through technology and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, awardees, nominees, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished guests, we stand at a pivotal moment in the evolution of our public sector. Advances in science, technology, and innovation are shaping the world faster than many governments can or know how to react. They are changing the way we live, the way we communicate, and the way we do business. It is also changing the way governments interact and deliver services to citizens. This puts us at a critical juncture in the evolution of governance. Technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace, reshaping economies, industries, and the very fabric of our societies. Governments must therefore evolve, not just to keep up, but to lead the charge in developing agile, secure, and sustainable technology. It is imperative, however, that this digital revolution be built by and for the people it is intended to benefit. This means that our digital transformation strategies must be guided by people's needs and ability to participate fully in an increasingly connected world. The true measure of digital transformation is not the number of systems we deploy, but their impact on citizens' lives. We must ask ourselves, are we making government services more accessible and inclusive? Are we ensuring that digital innovation is leaving no one behind? Are we designing systems that are transparent, efficient, and truly responsive to citizens' needs? Are we addressing the specific needs and challenges of our citizens? Ensuring that we get these questions right has been the cornerstone of Sierra Leone's digital transformation agenda. Ensuring a collaborative and open approach to innovation and development. We understand the realities of low internet penetration and digital literacy. So we have employed a hybrid approach of high-tech and low-tech solutions that ensure we can meet the citizens where they are. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we leveraged a mix of IVR, USSD, and chatbot technology to deliver critical public health information in multiple languages. The development and adoption of these technologies enabled the government to communicate directly to the people and provide accurate health-related information in a manner and language they understood, regardless of their location and their literacy capability. This played a significant role in our ability to combat the outbreak, with Sierra Leone being one of the last few countries to declare a COVID-19 case. Our efforts during the COVID pandemic stand in sharp contrast to the Ebola outbreak in 2015, when the absence of these digital tools and real-time communication led to rapid misinformation that massively contributed to the spread of the disease. The results of our intentional intervention underscore the urgent need for government to embrace agile, inclusive, and secure digital transformation strategies, not as an option, but as a necessity. At the heart of this transformation lies open source digital solutions. These technologies have the ability to redefine public service delivery, foster collaboration, and ensure that the benefits of digital information reach every citizen, especially those in underserved communities. As a proud co-founding member of the Digital Public Goods Alliance and an open source first country, Sierra Leone champions the use of open, reusable, and scalable digital tools to drive progress. For developing countries like ours, digital public goods are more than cost-saving alternatives. They're catalysts for innovation, economic empowerment, and long-term digital sovereignty. By reducing dependence on expensive proprietary technologies, DPGs enable us to build resilient, homegrown digital ecosystems that serve our people first. This aligns with the Global Digital Compact adopted by the United Nations, which emphasizes universal connectivity as a cornerstone for achieving an inclusive and equitable digital future. The GDC calls for governments to invest in building and expanding the digital infrastructure to ensure that every citizen, regardless of location, has access to quality, affordable, and meaningful connectivity. In Sierra Leone, His Excellency the President has declared access to mobile and internet services as a basic human right. As such, we have invested in extending our fiber backbone network to all districts, upgrading our network coverage to 4G and 5G, as well as encouraging competition, which has seen a significant drop in the cost of bandwidth. It is important to note that digital transformation is not just about digitizing government services. It is about harnessing the power of data to make better, faster, and more inclusive policy decisions. Data-driven governance enables real-time insights that can enhance service delivery, predict social trends, and drive evidence-based policymaking. Furthermore, artificial intelligence is reshaping how governments operate, from automating routine tasks to improving public resource allocation. However, as we explore AI solutions, we must remain mindful of bias, ethics, and data privacy concerns. AI should be a tool for empowerment, not exclusion, and that means governments must take the lead in developing AI frameworks. As we race towards this digital future in public service, we must also be cautious. Cybersecurity, data protection, and responsible AI are not afterthoughts. They must be at the core of our digital strategies. The more we digitize, the more vulnerable we become to cyber threats. If we develop in isolation, we risk creating new digital divides, leaving entire populations behind. The future of governance is not about competition, but about collaboration. Every breakthrough in digital public service is a victory for all of us. When one country succeeds in building inclusive digital infrastructure, it serves as a blueprint for others to follow. When we commit to human-centered digital transformation, build data-driven policy that serve people, and create inclusive and sustainable digital ecosystems, we unlock a future where technology is a force for good. Sierra Leone is committed to this vision. We welcome global partnerships, expertise, and investment to ensure that digital transformation is not just about innovation, but about real impact, improving lives, expanding opportunities, and empowering communities. Governments alone cannot undertake the digital transformation journey. Strong public-private partnerships are essential to driving innovation, infrastructure expansion, and service delivery at scale. When governments, tech companies, startups, and civil society collaborate, we create a more inclusive and dynamic digital ecosystem that benefits everyone. In Sierra Leone, we have seen the power of these partnerships firsthand. By working with global tech firms, local innovators, and development partners, we have expanded access to technology, introduced cost-effective digital solutions, and trained thousands in digital skills. These collaborations ensure that our digital future is not just government-led, but co-created with industry leaders, communities, and innovators worldwide. The future of government is digital. The future of digital is open, and the future of all of us is stronger together. Thank you for your attention and your commitment to advancing our shared digital transformation journey. I thank you all for listening.
Amazing keynote. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Madam Ba. We appreciate you taking our time to speak to us today and to share your thoughts and inspire us as we work together towards a future world that works for all of us.
Thank you.
Now we've reached the final award of our ceremony today. This is the Leadership Award. This special award celebrates leaders who empower their teams and their organizations to create significant and positive change. We know that teams can only achieve success and make a meaningful and lasting difference for people if they've got space to explore and to learn, fail, and then iterate, and ultimately focus on what matters most. Now, the most capable leaders are those who unblock challenges and remove distractions so that their teams can focus on delivering real and important value to people. Our Leadership Award shortlist, as you see on the screen, included very inspirational people who are setting directions in Germany, Italy, Spain, Argentina, Brazil, Benin, Brazil, again, Colombia, India, and South Africa. So a wonderful and very inspirational group of people that we think really set an example for all of us. At this point, I'll turn the floor over to Maria Inez Beque, who is the Government Transformation Lead across all of Latin America, Canada, and the Caribbean at Amazon Web Services. She's joining us from Argentina today to announce two highly commended nominees, as well as the leadership of the winner of our Leadership Award. So, Maria, please take it away.
Thank you, Michael, and it's such an honor to present this award with such wonderful candidates that have been in the short list. So, first of all, let me present the first highly commended award for Fernando de Pablo Martin from Spain. Fernando is the director of the digital office in Madrid. He's currently leading the city's digital transformation strategy, which has achieved significant milestones, such as increasing the use of eGov and establishing the Cybersecurity Center. He has also received widespread recognition for his work to enhance digital infrastructure, to protect municipal data, and drive technological innovation to improve urban living standards and improve air quality. He has established collaborations with institutions such as the Polytechnic University of Madrid to integrate cutting-edge knowledge into public service delivery, and he also championed increasing digital skills for all public employees. His determination to reduce the skills gap shows an admirable focus on long-term, meaningful change for citizens. Thanks to Fernando de Pablo, Madrid now has become an exemplar of inclusive, efficient, and sustainable digital transformation. Congrats, Fernando. My pleasure. The second award goes to Marcela Arruda from Brazil. Marcela leads the Sao Paulo Municipal Secretariat of Management. Under her leadership, the department has become a benchmark in modernization and inclusion by achieving significant progress in promoting innovation alongside equity in public administration. Arruda is a fierce champion of initiatives like the ILAS Sao Paulo project, which in partnership with big tech companies like Microsoft, like AWS, offer female municipal employees training in technology and leadership in the public sector digital transformation space. Under her stewardship, teams are modernizing many civic processes and making them more accessible to the people they serve. For example, the new City Official Gazette, which publishes local laws and announcements, is now 100% online, improving its citizens' access to administrative activities whilst achieving annual savings of around 4 million reais. Under Marcela, technology and innovation have become visionary pillars for a more accessible, efficient, and population-centered public services. So now let's find out the winner. And the winner is Christina Lang from Germany. Christina is the founder, CEO, and managing director of Digital Service, the German federal government's digitalization partner. In 2019, Christina founded a startup to try to encourage private sector digital experts into government. Such a challenge. This startup eventually became Digital Service, and the organization has now grown to around 200 employees who, under her leadership, are driving the digital transformation of federal administration. Christina has built interdisciplinary teams in software development, working closely together with the federal public administration officials to create digital applications. The aim is for user-centered digital services to become the standard in the public sector. The slogan that Christina has for digital service product is change through delivery, and the results are measurable. Minimum viable products launched within months, followed by quick release cycles, sometimes once per month. Tools developed by digital service are user-friendly. For example, the online property tax declaration took users an average of only 15 to 30 minutes to complete. But to future-proof the public sector, Christina has acknowledged that digital service needs to attract and retain digital talent, which would not typically consider working directly for public administration. And in order to meet their expectations, Christina has successfully created a progressive and open company culture with core values like open by default, embrace diverse perspectives, or care to challenge. Many people in her team previously worked at global tech firms, consultancies, and agencies, and the reason they are designing and building public digital services is just because of Christina. Thank you so much for joining us today, Christina. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so much for the recognition. I'm super happy to be here and to receive the honor of this leadership award. To be honest, I was already very excited to be on the shortlist among such great fellow digital leaders from all around the world and see the project teams. So thank you very much. Digital transformation of public administration actually means preparing for a marathon rather than a sprint. And you say that in the recognition for the award, we have a lot of hurdles to cross, predictable ones, as well as problems that pop up unexpectedly along the way. And in Germany, we've had a rather challenging 3 years to claim a mandate for profound digital transformation. We are right now in the forming of a new government and hope to inform their priorities going forward. But you all know these cycles. And I think it's a real achievement to keep up the momentum and the motivation of teams in challenging circumstances and to keep reacting to changing political realities as well as technological progress. So I'd like to extend my deep gratitude to all the other digital leaders who inspire and challenge and push their teams and help them deliver real impact to the people around the world. I'm super grateful for my highly motivated and skilled team at Digital Service and also for the many people we rely on within the public administration, which shouldn't be forgotten. So with that, to all the digital and transformation teams around the world, keep going. It's worth it. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina. Such great ending words. Congratulations again to all of the winners, and also well done to everyone that was nominated. Our winners and our highly commended innovators will receive their certificates shortly. Please tag us on all social media and use the hashtag Future of Government Awards. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to AWS, the UNDP, and Public Digital for organizing and hosting the awards.
And this ceremony has been recorded. It'll soon be available on the Future of Government website and on Public Digital's YouTube channel. Also, keep your eyes peeled for when next year's nominations open. You or your team could be our next winner. Finally, if you want to learn more about us, visit our website at futureofgovernment.com. Thank you all for joining us. Take care.